Canada is often praised for being one of the safest countries in the world. But did you know that some cities here are now experiencing crime rates comparable to major U.S. hotspots? From violent assaults and drug-related offenses to organized crime and home invasions, the numbers are rising faster than ever. Many of these cities were once considered safe, family-friendly places, but economic downturns, gang activity, and the opioid crisis are pushing crime rates to new highs. What's behind this surge in violence? Which cities are becoming too dangerous to live in or visit? If you're considering moving to Canada, you'll want to think twice about these places. Stay with us until the end because number 1 on this list will shock you. It's a city many wouldn't expect, but crime has completely spiraled out of control. Now, let's dive into the 10 most dangerous cities in Canada in 2025. 10. St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. St. John's is known for its rich maritime history, stunning coastal views, and welcoming locals. But beneath the picturesque charm, crime rates have surged alarmingly over the past few years. The biggest culprit? The opioid crisis. Newfoundland and Labrador have seen a sharp increase in fentanyl-related overdoses, and with that comes violent crime, armed robberies, and drug-related assaults. Once quiet neighborhoods are now dealing with break-ins, car theft, and gang activity. Police reports show that violent crime, including stabbings and home invasions, has nearly doubled since 2023. Many local businesses have been forced to install extra security, and even public transportation has seen a rise in harassment and theft. The areas most affected include downtown St. John's and the West End neighborhoods, where police presence has significantly increased. Residents who once left their doors unlocked now live in fear of home invasions. Tourists are advised to stay in well-lit areas and avoid walking alone at night. While St. John's still has its small-town charm, the rising crime wave is becoming a serious concern. 9. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon has long been a growing prairie city with economic potential, but in recent years, it has gained a different reputation, one of the most dangerous cities in Canada. One of the biggest contributors to Saskatoon's rising crime rates is its gang problem. Criminal organizations have expanded their influence in the city, fueling a surge in drug trafficking, violent altercations, and targeted shootings. In 2024 alone, Saskatoon saw over 50 shootings, many of them linked to organized crime. This has led to an increase in homicides, robberies, and violent assaults. The North End, Pleasant Hill, and Riversdale neighborhoods are particularly concerning, with crime rates well above the national average. Beyond violent crime, property crimes like break-ins, carjackings, and fraud schemes are on the rise. Residents have reported feeling unsafe even during the daytime, especially in areas near transit hubs. Despite increased law enforcement efforts, the city's crime rate continues to climb. If you're planning to visit or live in Saskatoon, take extra precautions, especially at night, and avoid high-crime areas. 8. Laval, Quebec. Laval, a city just north of Montreal, was once considered a quiet, safe place for families. However, over the past few years, organized crime, drug activity, and violence have skyrocketed. Gang-related shootings have tripled since 2022, with many incidents happening in broad daylight. The surge in crime has been linked to Montreal's criminal underworld, which has expanded its reach into Laval, making it a hotspot for drug trafficking and extortion cases. Armed robberies, home invasions, and car thefts have also surged. Criminal groups have targeted high-end vehicles, often smuggling them out of Canada. Laval police have reported an increase in violent home break-ins, where criminals invade homes while residents are inside, an alarming trend that has locals on edge. The most affected areas include Chomedey and Laval-des-Rapides, where the crime rate has increased by over 40% in just 2 years. If you live in or visit Laval, be cautious at night. Avoid secluded areas and secure your home properly. What was once a peaceful city is now struggling with an alarming crime wave. 7. Abbotsford, British Columbia. Abbotsford is famous for its agriculture and beautiful landscapes, but recently, it has also become a center for gang violence and drug-related crimes. With its location near major highways, Abbotsford has become a key transit point for drug trafficking, leading to a rise in shootings, home invasions, and violent altercations. In 2024 alone, the city recorded over 70 gang-related shootings, many of which involved innocent bystanders. Beyond organized crime, property crime is a major issue. Car theft, break-ins, and fraud cases have surged, with criminals targeting homes in residential areas like Clearbrook and South Poplar. The local police department has increased patrols, but the crime rate continues to climb rapidly. Residents report feeling less safe, and many businesses have started closing earlier due to security concerns. If you're visiting or living in Abbotsford, be extra cautious in high-crime neighborhoods and avoid walking alone at night. 6. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Halifax, Nova Scotia's capital, has always been a vibrant port city with a strong cultural and educational presence. However, crime rates here are rising at an alarming pace. The city has experienced a major spike in violent crimes, particularly stabbings, home invasions, and gang activity. With its busy nightlife, Halifax has also seen an increase in bar fights, muggings, and assaults. The areas of concern include Gottingen Street, downtown Halifax, and parts of North End, where drug-related incidents and robberies have become more frequent. Another serious issue is the rise in homelessness and addiction problems, which has led to more break-ins and confrontations in public areas. Residents have reported feeling unsafe in parking lots and transit stations, as mugging incidents have doubled compared to 2023. Despite Halifax's beauty and charm, its escalating crime wave is a growing concern for residents and tourists alike. 5. Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina, the capital of Saskatchewan, is often overshadowed by its more famous neighbor, Saskatoon. But make no mistake, Regina's crime problem is even worse. The city's violent crime rate has steadily increased over the past 5 years, fueled by gang activity, drug trafficking, and economic struggles. Regina is home to some of the highest crime severity index scores in Canada, meaning that not only is crime happening frequently, but the severity of offenses is much higher than in most other cities. The most dangerous neighborhoods include North Central and Heritage, where violent crimes, stabbings, home invasions, and armed robberies are common occurrences. In 2024 alone, Regina saw a 25% increase in aggravated assaults and a rise in homicides linked to gang disputes. Another major issue is property crime, particularly vehicle thefts and break-ins. Regina has one of the highest rates of car thefts in the country, with criminals targeting both residents and tourists. If you're visiting Regina, stay away from high-crime areas, avoid walking alone at night, and keep your belongings secure, because this city is far more dangerous than it looks. 4. Edmonton, Alberta. Edmonton, Alberta's capital, is known for its stunning river valley, major festivals, and vibrant nightlife. But in recent years, crime has surged across the city, making it one of the most dangerous places to live in Canada. Violent crimes, including shootings, robberies, and gang-related activity, have become increasingly common. The city's north side and downtown have seen rising incidents of violent crime, often linked to organized crime groups battling for territory. One of Edmonton's biggest issues is its homelessness and drug crisis, which has contributed to an increase in random attacks, muggings, and aggressive panhandling. Many business owners in the downtown core have expressed concern over the rising crime, as more break-ins and thefts are forcing stores to shut down earlier. Adding to the problem is public transit safety. Edmonton's LRT system has become a hotspot for crime, with multiple reports of harassment, theft, and even violent assaults. Despite efforts by law enforcement to crack down on crime, Edmonton's crime severity index continues to rise, making it a city where safety is a growing concern. 3. Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thunder Bay might not be the first place that comes to mind when thinking about crime in Canada, but this northern city has some of the highest violent crime rates in the country. With a crime severity index that surpasses cities like Toronto and Vancouver, Thunder Bay is struggling with drug addiction, gang violence, and a lack of police resources to handle the growing crisis. The city has been hit hard by the opioid epidemic, leading to an increase in drug-related thefts, violent confrontations, and fatal overdoses. Many areas of Thunder Bay are now considered unsafe after dark, with reports of muggings, break-ins, and random attacks rising sharply. One particularly alarming statistic: Thunder Bay has one of the highest homicide rates per capita in Canada. Many of these crimes are linked to gang activity and disputes over drug distribution. If you're in Thunder Bay, be extra cautious in the downtown core and avoid walking alone at night. This city has become far more dangerous than most people realize. 2. Toronto, Ontario. Toronto may be Canada's largest and most economically powerful city, but that hasn't stopped violent crime from reaching record-breaking levels. Gun violence, stabbings, and gang-related activity have skyrocketed in 2025, particularly in neighborhoods like Jane and Finch, Regent Park, and Scarborough. The city saw a 40% increase in shootings in 2024, with many crimes happening in broad daylight. Public transit has also become a major safety concern. The TTC, Toronto Transit Commission, has seen a rise in random attacks, harassment, and thefts, leaving many commuters feeling unsafe. Beyond violent crime, car theft in Toronto has reached unprecedented levels. In 2024 alone, over 12,000 vehicles were stolen, with many ending up overseas through international crime rings. Toronto's housing crisis has also played a role in its rising crime. With increasing homelessness and financial struggles, petty theft, shoplifting, and assaults have surged across the city. Despite its economic success, Toronto is no longer the safe metropolis it once was. If you're visiting, stay alert, avoid dangerous neighborhoods, and be cautious on public transit. 1. Surrey, British Columbia. And finally, the most dangerous city in Canada in 2025 is Surrey, British Columbia. Surrey's crime problem has exploded over the past few years, with gang violence, organized crime, and drug-related shootings turning parts of the city into war zones. As a major hub for drug trafficking, Surrey has seen record-breaking homicides, gang shootings, and violent home invasions. In 2024, the city recorded over 90 shootings, many linked to organized crime groups fighting for territory. Car thefts and property crimes are also among the highest in Canada, with many criminals targeting high-end vehicles and residential areas. Certain neighborhoods, like Whalley and Newton, have become known for gang activity, making them particularly dangerous. Surrey's proximity to Vancouver and key border crossings has made it a prime target for international crime networks. Police have struggled to keep up with the growing violence, leaving many residents feeling unsafe. For those considering moving to Surrey, think twice, because right now this is Canada's most dangerous city. There you have it, the 10 most dangerous cities in Canada in 2025. Crime rates are rising across the country, and many once safe cities are now becoming more dangerous than ever. Did your city make the list? Have you ever experienced crime in one of these places? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video helpful or eye-opening, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll be bringing you more in-depth crime and travel insights soon. Stay safe and thanks for watching.